go to break, let's talk about deductibles. Everybody always goes, do I need a high deductible, low deductible? You know, and how does that vary versus replacement cost and all that stuff? This is more your cup of tea, but help us with that, because I know that can be manipulated to potentially give you a lower rate, but are you covered? That's my concern all the time.
Yeah, one of the things that we're seeing a lot out there is that people have low deductibles for their homeowners, for that matter, even on their auto for comp and collision, and they're not properly insured under the liability section. So a lot of times just shifting your dollars around and increasing your deductibles, getting better limits to protect you in case you're at fault, there's no money out of pocket. A lot of times it's even less premium. So that's one of the things that we see a lot, that people still have the lower $250 deductible that nowadays that's nothing. I mean...
And I don't imagine, I mean, honestly, I mean, the only time you need insurance when it's pretty tragic. Very rarely is it you're just happy to have a $250 or whatever, $500 deductible. I would rather make sure that I'm covered.
Yeah, because, you know, the reality is most carriers are going to surcharge you after you have one claim. And that surcharge could be, you know, anywhere from 10 to 25%. So if you have a $500 deductible and the total claim is $700, they're only going to pay you $200.
Yeah.
The surcharge is going to be more than that, and it's for 3 years. So we don't tell people not to put in a claim, but we always advise them what's going to happen. Are you sure you want me to do that?
That's a good point. I love that. See, that's where you're a true professional. You're not going to get that online. I'm sorry, it doesn't, and it might be in the small print somewhere, but who reads that? It's good to have you. Basically, that's where experience comes in. You know what questions to ask and inform them on.
Correct. We try to guide them in the right direction. The bottom line is they're going to have to make that decision, and they're going to have to live with that decision. We can only advise and suggest, and if you don't do what we ask you to do, then, of course, there's not much we can do.
Yeah, but at least you do give advice. I mean, or let's just say it's not even advice, it's information.
Correct.
Because same with us. We can't advise you which loan to take, but we're hoping by all the great information we give you that you can make an educated decision. You do the same thing.
That is right.
You didn't tell me what I had to do. You just said, Don, here's your options. And it was pretty, you know, plain and simple what I should do.
Correct. And then as time goes on, it's going to change. So we want to make sure that you always tell us what's going on. But, you know, at least every other year, we're going to come back to you and say, hey, let's go over everything.
Yeah, you're good about that. That's real good. And just if